How's it going? My name is Waj. We are back again with another episode of DeFi farming on Berachain. We've got 6 more opportunities for you to cover. We're not going to waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Now, we covered a few in the last video. These ones are going to be a little bit more niche and a little bit more unique. And so, yeah, 6 more. We're going to start off with Beradrome. We did actually cover Beradrome in the last video, but we covered more so around the Ohm honey pool, which is now actually offering 40% APR, which is pretty huge. Instead, today we're going to talk about the liquidity trifecta that includes Yeet and Bera pooled on Kodiak and then kind of deposited onto Beradrome. Now, the APR here is 169%. As you can see, it's significantly higher than that of the island APR, which you can get directly on Kodiak. What you need to do is you need to pool your liquidity here and then stake those LP tokens on Beradrome. And then you're going to be eligible for those Beraborrow emissions as well. These can, of course, be redeemed for Beraborrow as well. If you go on the home page, or I believe the first page, you can actually redeem your Beraborrow with some honey into Beraborrow itself, and then you can do what you like with that. But I think this is pretty interesting just because of how high the APR is. You know, for those of you who did want to have some exposure to Yeet, you know, maybe Yeet trades in line with Beraborrow a little bit. I don't know. I mean, again, no financial advice. I'm just speculating here. But I think for one of the staples within the ecosystem so far, this could be somewhat interesting, just given how many rewards are going to go to this specific thing as well. I'm sure Pemby from Yeet can definitely give you a little more insight into exactly what kind of rewards this will offer in due time. But I think with triple digit yields, you're sitting pretty healthy as well. With 500,000 in TVL as well, which is not too bad. Bribes. I think we see lots of bribes coming to this specific pool. So yeah, let's see in due time. But I think this one is a fairly interesting one. And sorry if I am diluting you, but it's too good not to show. So yeah, that covers kind of Kodiak, Yeet, and Beradrome together with their liquidity trifecta. Next, we'll talk about Beraborrow, and Beraborrow itself doesn't have a front end that I can use just yet. However, I'm pretty sure that's going to change in due time. The reason why I'm talking about it is because Nect, of course, the stablecoin from Beraborrow, is live. And Beraborrow themselves tweeted this interesting thing about getting paid to use Nect, and where you can earn pollen, which is a governance token for Beraborrow, by using Nect. And there are a few ways that you can actually start earning today. And one of them is by providing liquidity, or being an LP, or essentially integrating Nect into your app as well. And so, yeah, the great thing is you don't even need to ask permission. You just use Nect. Pollen is distributed to the users of Nect. And so the question is, you know, what can you do with them? Well, there's one strategy that I did find on Burrbear, and this is interesting because it's a Nect USDC honey pool, currently with around 4 million in TVL, and you know, half of that in 24-hour volume, I believe. But what's interesting is that this is earning some APR, which you can see on screen. Now, it says here that LPs in this pool also earn 4x Beraborrow points. Now, here's where you're going to have to do some moon maths, because I don't know anything about what the total number of Beraborrow points are and kind of how much 1 point is going to be worth. That's kind of down to you to do your min maths. It maybe Cobble and Prince can share some insights on this, but I think it's somewhat interesting. You're also earning Burr points as well, and then there is some real yield. Well, I say real yield in the form of Bera itself. I'm assuming that this comes from the RFA that Burrbear have, but I'm not entirely sure. But either way, I think this is pretty interesting for a stablecoin farm, where you can earn, where you can get some exposure to Beraborrow through pollen. I'm assuming these points convert into pollen, some exposure to Burrbear, and of course some yield with Bera as well, and double digits as well, which is nice. And this is without POL even being live just yet for this specific pool. So yeah, another really interesting one. Next up, we're going to talk about D2 Finance, and they have a variety of different strategies. We've covered some of the different Berachain specific strategies on D2, but the reason why I'm talking about them is because I think in due time there will be some that you can deposit into, and I believe given the fact that D2 have a decent amount of RFA, will be able to earn some extra additional incentives and rewards. So we'll have to just kind of wait for some of those strategies to come out. But I want you to just keep an eye out on it right now, because whilst these are maxed out TVL capacity, I think in due time you will be able to see them, and maybe some of them launch in the next couple of days or weeks or months. So if you're watching this in future, have a flick through into D2 and see if there's any interesting vaults available for you. You will have to read up on the strategy per se and make sure that you understand exactly what's going on and what Luca and the team are doing with your assets. Some of them will be option strategies, some of them will be perp strategies, and have a look at the underlying asset that you're exposed to too. But I think many of these strategies, as Luca can show you himself, have been really fantastic in their return. So yeah, again, no financial advice on this one, but I do think it's worth taking a look at some of these strategies. Next up, we're going to talk about something that I think is a little bit fun, actually. This one is Console, or Brahma, I should say, and they have this really fun activity going on right now where you can earn these honey boxes by performing activities through your Console or Brahma account. So complete 3+ transactions, aka 4 transactions and more, to unlock one of these honey boxes every day, and you can unlock one every single day, so up to 7 per week. And when you open these, you're going to get either some karma, as you can see I've been able to achieve a little, some honey, some Kodiak rewards, maybe even possibly some Brahma rewards as well that come from that in the form of honey. I'm not too sure, but either way, it's a fun thing to do. You just got to do some transactions. It can be anything, right? You can do some transactions on Ooga Booga or IVX or Kodiak or Infrared or Yeet or Beraborrow or Beradrome, whatever. Do whatever you want, but just do some transactions. And it does say here, more transactions increase your chances of earning bigger rewards, including karma, honey, and exclusive protocol rewards. So yeah, they're credited every Monday at 4 p.m. UTC. So yeah, play around with this. I'll leave my referral link in the description below, because maybe that helps me out in future, I don't know. But you can kind of have a play around with your Brahma account. So yeah, that's another one available for you. You can basically do any of the activities that I've mentioned in this video through your Brahma account itself. Next, we're going to talk about infrared, and we didn't talk about infrared IBGT in the last episode, so that's why I'm mentioning it in this one. Right now, you can earn 140% APR on your IBGT that you stake. Now, a lot of this APR is, in fact, I believe all of it is actually coming from BEX fees themselves, and so yeah, you're going to get paid out in honey rewards as well. If you don't want to use IBGT, remember you can just take your BGT and go to any of the validators and boost them, and in doing so you will start earning the rewards from BEX fees themselves, and that's another thing that you can do. And whilst I mention this, if you do have some BGT, you can get set up with governance and delegate your BGT to me. I will try and get involved with Berachain governance. So if that's something that you're happy to do, send me a DM and I'll send you my wallet and you can delegate your BGT to me. Just remember, that doesn't mean you're giving it to me. You're just delegating the voting power. You're still keeping your BGT for yourself. So yeah, I think that covers it. That's just a few different strategies that maybe you want to do, even something a little bit different compared to what I mentioned in part 1. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with more educational videos in the not so distant future.